Hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation where we're going to discuss how artificial intelligence can both help and hurt the fashion industry. First, we're going to be going over the benefits, how AI-powered tools can help the fashion industry improve and progress. Second, we'll be going over the ethical risks, so what ethical risks are posed by using AI in the fashion industry. And third, we'll discuss mitigation. So how might we mitigate those ethical risks posed by using AI in the fashion industry? So first up in our discussion is how AI can help the fashion industry. And here we have three groups of AI-powered tools that can help the fashion industry in key ways. First up is improving customer satisfaction through the use of recommendation engines, chatbots for customer service, as well as virtual mirrors that let customers try on garments, not just to see how they'll look, but how they might fit prior to making purchases. We can also improve supply chain efficiency and inventory management through the use of trend forecasting to help designers predict what will be in style in the future. The use of predictive analytics to help buyers make sure that the right quantities of items and the right sizes are purchased and that they're sent to the right geographic regions for sale, or the right geographic regions for warehouse to be sent to online customers. And finally, image recognition, which not only powers some of the trend forecasting tools that are often based on scraping images from the web, they also help power really strong search engines that help customers find the products they need. And finally, AI-powered tools have the ability to help the fashion industry improve its sustainability and environmental consciousness, which is particularly important given that the fashion industry is one of the top global polluters, both from the standpoint of carbon emissions and also from the standpoint of wastewater production. AI-powered tools have the ability to help the fashion industry both reduce waste from overproduction as well as from customer returns when they buy products that don't fit or work for their bodies. And of course, finally, AI-powered tools can help us with consumer education, helping individual consumers better understand how their personal consumption fits into the global landscape. So now that we've discussed how AI-powered tools can help the fashion industry improve and move into the future, let's discuss some of the important ethical risks to using AI-powered tools in the fashion industry. First up, an ever-present one, is bias and discrimination, not just in the data we're using to power our AI tools, but also in the algorithms and in us, the users. Fashion, of course, as we all know, has historic and contemporary biases regarding body type, culture, and more, and these all will reflect in the AI-powered tools we're using if we're not conscious of them and actively trying to avoid those biases. Next up, another key ethical risk of using AI-powered tools in fashion is consumer privacy. Enormous amounts of data are required to power both those customer-facing tools we just talked about as well as the employee-facing tools. That data may come from customers who have consented and voluntarily allowed it to be collected from them, as well as data that is scraped from the wider web, particularly for trend prediction tools. Finally, the third key ethical risk posed by AI-powered tools in the fashion industry are the effects of automation on employment and creativity. Many of the creative roles in the fashion industry, which are typically in the global north, though not always, are certainly at risk of reduction or replacement with some of the AI-powered tools available that make the work of design and purchasing potentially much easier. Additionally, even though AI is not going to put two pieces of fabric together and run them through a sewing machine, jobs in the fashion industry in the global south may be at risk too, with AI-powered tools making work harder and certainly not more rewarding. Finally, now that we've covered some of the major ethical risks that are posed by using AI-powered tools in the fashion industry, let's talk about a few ways that those particular risks can be mitigated so that AI-powered tools can be safely used in the fashion industry to help it move forward and improve itself. First off is identifying and mitigating bias in the data and algorithms we're using. We know that bias exists, particularly if we are training our tools on historic data. Bias absolutely exists. We also need to ensure that we are ensuring that global perspectives are considered when these tools are used in fashion. Global fashion does not mean that everyone in the world is following the same trends at the same time. Global fashion means that each individual community and culture throughout the world has its own unique fashion that's based on their culture and their shared history, and we should be using our AI-powered tools to enhance those unique fashions of each area instead of homogenizing fashion into one global, often Western-focused fashion. Next up, we need to ensure that customer data is stored securely and used responsibly. Of course, it's always important to make sure that data is safe from bad actors out there in the world who are looking to steal data to use for nefarious and illegal purposes, but it's also important to make sure that this data is used responsibly internally, that we're making sure we're helping our consumers make good choices, particularly sustainable ones, instead of identifying consumers potentially as shopaholics and then pushing overconsumption to people. We want to make sure that we are using AI and the data that we're collecting to improve fashion, both for consumers, the industry, and our planet, as opposed to using AI to further push the overconsumption that already exists today. And finally, the last key thing we need to do to mitigate some of the ethical risks posed by using AI-powered tools in fashion is to make sure stakeholders from across the industry and across the supply chain and across the globe are involved in the conversation. AI-powered tools have the ability not just to affect people working in the fashion industry in the global north, who traditionally are working in more of the creative, design, and purchasing roles, but also workers typically working in the global south who are working in textile manufacturing as well as garment manufacturing, making sure everyone is involved in the conversation so that AI-powered tools are able to make the fashion industry better for everyone and not just one particular group. There were 3 articles particularly important in the development of this presentation. I particularly recommend the 2 that appear in Fashion Highlight Journal. They were particularly integral in identifying the main benefits, risks, and ways to mitigate them presented in this discussion. So thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, please comment below. And I thank you again for joining us in today's presentation on how AI can be used in the fashion industry.